Hi everyone, this is Prashad Parthiban. Today I'm going to talk about differences between wholesale brokers and retail brokers in property and casualty insurance. First, let's see what do you mean by retail brokers. So if you take a traditional insurance policy, when I say traditional insurance policies, admitted insurance carriers, they are the one who file their forms, they file their rates to Department of Insurance and are highly regulated. So when a broker deals with admitted insurance carriers, they are called as retail brokers. They know what kind of risk they are covering, they have good expertise on those, and they are allowed to work with admitted carriers. So they act as an intermediary between customers and insurance company, which is good. Now what happens if a customer has unusual risk or high risk? For an example, if I have a customer who has a petroleum company and I have a lot of inflammable chemicals, or if I have a customer who is developing a product for a pharmaceutical company, and if something goes wrong with the product, the losses are going to be huge. Those types of scenarios pretty much is not going to be handled by admitted carriers because of the kind of risk or the possibility of high loss exposures. Now, in those scenarios, these retail brokers have to depend on non-admitted carriers. Just to recap, non-admitted carriers are a kind of surplus carriers. They don't file their forms or they don't file their rates to the Department of Insurance. In case if they become solvent, the Department of Insurance will not pay out any claims. So it is very important whenever you get a policy from a non-admitted carrier, you need to look at their rating like A+ rating so that you are not at risk. Now, because of the fact the retail brokers have to get a policy from non-admitted carriers and they also have to handle unusual risk which they don't have required expertise, they need to depend on another intermediary between them and an insurance companies, and they are called as wholesale brokers. So the wholesale brokers typically work with non-admitted carriers because of the fact they handle unusual risk, and these wholesale brokers, they have good expertise on this unusual risk like a professional liability or any kind of unusual risk. Now the way it works is the retail brokers are going to work with this wholesale brokers, and this wholesale brokers will shop around with different non-admitted carriers and find a required policy. So wholesale brokers will be in direct contact with the insurance company, and the retail brokers will be in direct contact with the insureds or customers, and the retail companies or retail brokers will work with this wholesale brokers to find a required policy. Now, when I say wholesale brokers, there are two kinds of brokers here. One is MGA, we talked about it, managing general agent, who has more of underwriting authority like to issue a policy on behalf of insurance company or to make out a claim, etc., etc. The other types of wholesale broker is surplus brokers. They don't have a high level of underwriting authority similar to MGAs, but still they do have license to kind of find required non-admitted policies for this retail brokers. So just to recap, retail brokers works with admitted carriers directly, whereas wholesale brokers being an intermediary between retail brokers and non-admitted carriers because of the fact these wholesale brokers have good expertise on this unusual risk which is handled by non-admitted carriers. I hope you like my training videos. If you like my training videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.